Hi and welcome to Fall Asleep with Henrik. I'm Henrik and you're sleepy, and it is what it is. What happens, happens, and right now there is nothing we can do. Let's begin. Hi, sleepy. Hi, and welcome back to my humble abode. Hello, my friend. As usual, I am going to talk for about an hour, and you don't have to do anything at all. You can just let go. I have to tell you that I drove here. I'm sitting in the Adventure Wolf. That's what I call my little studio, because I no longer live in the house where Adventure Wolf is situated. So I have to travel to it by car or bus or bicycle. And this is because me and Nina, my ex-partner, but still, in so many ways, partner, we are separated since about a year. And don't run off climbing into some church spires weathercock to shout, "What on earth is this? Is he all right?" Then I'm totally fine. Separation has been hard, and many of the things that came after separation has been even harder. It's been really a dark summer for me, but I'm fine. I just want to say that everything is fine and no one is miserable. Life is good, or rather, life is life, That's what it is. I don't recall ever signing any contract that life was going to be a certain way. Nobody promised me I would stay in the right lane my whole life. Grant me the serenity to tolerate lane changes once in a while. That's a prayer that would be beneficial to utter a bit more often. In any case, I drove here and I was in the car listening to The Killers and the song Human. The one with that famous line, "Are we human or are we dancer?" It's a weird lyric, isn't it? And it isn't entirely clear what it's about. I think "Are we human or dancer" refers to something. It might be based on an old quote, an old speech. I've read that it was inspired by, was it Hunter S. Thompson? I have no idea, who said that we're raising a generation of dancers. And the Killers turned that thought into the question, are we human or are we dancer? And it's weird because for me, being a dancer is something positive. It's what the human being, the whole of human being, the whole of a human being is, at some level, is a dancer. But I guess the line is meant to be a contrast to individuality, like with a group of dancers who all move the same way, following choreography that isn't theirs. And that's standing against human, suggesting that a contrast between individuals and people who move the same, dictated by someone else. It's always interesting to get a different perspective of something that you take for granted in your own mind, isn't it? I felt I felt human when I sat there in the car listening to that song. And the sun was shining. It was in the middle of the day, so there wasn't much traffic, even though it's never really quiet in Stockholm. And I took a different route here, and I got to drive on a bit of motorway. And because I'm still a fairly new driver, I still enjoy just that, even when there's a traffic jam. So, because then I get an opportunity to stay in the car, and I like it. I find it peaceful, and I listen to music, and I held gently onto the steering wheel. It's so soft and nice, and the sun was shining on me, and for a brief second of time, I felt really very happy, sleepy. I thought, now, I'm happy now. I'm going to zoom in on this feeling. I'm going to zoom into it so that I can cherish it for longer. In my new life, after this, after my dark summer, I'm well aware that a feeling is only what I make of it myself. So at this point, I decided to bathe in that feeling for a while. Because it could easily have been something that just showed up and disappeared, like a little stab of happiness. But instead, because I could zoom into it, because I had the serenity to zoom into this particular feeling, yeah, I teared up. I got really teared up by happiness. I could stay with it, for a while, not forever. It's gone now. Now it's a different type of happiness. Music really helps in that situation. So I turned up the volume. I often do when I drive alone. And I listened to the song and I felt so happy. And I started to cry in the car. I wanted to share that with you, dearest Sleepy. Because there isn't any special reason for my happiness. I don't think I'm happier than usual. There are lots of things that are worrying in my life. Unfinished business, unanswered questions, scenarios, and a lot of frustration too, impatience and frustration. God, that's my soundtrack, Sleepy. I'm impatient. Things are happening, but they're happening so slowly but still yet faster than they've ever done before, still. Yeah, I know one reason I feel better. I have had a long streak of not exercising. Uh, I exercised this morning. And uh, yeah, I don't want to. Okay, so now the inner critic is starting to scream in my head. Don't talk about exercise. Don't talk about.